From Seattle. He's been seen frequently on television and works here in L.A. at the Improvisation. Over the weekend of July the 13th and 14th, he's among many comics who will be appearing at the launching of a new comedy workshop at Plaza 4 in Century City. Here is George Miller.
Thank you. Last summer, some relatives and I took a little motor trip. We went up and down the coast. And the first day we were driving along, you know, we were kind of hungry. And there was this restaurant off to the side of the road. And I knew it was going to be good because the name of the place was Eat. You've been there, okay? So we go into this horrible restaurant. Right in the middle of the floor, there's this old, dirty, beat-up head of lettuce sitting right in the middle of the floor. I asked the waiter. He said it was their salad bar. I like to talk about restaurants. There's a restaurant in Los Angeles. I love the name. It's Lowry's The Prime Rib. It's not Lowry's Prime Rib. It's Lowry's The Prime Rib. I was only in there, I think, one time with my brother-in-law, the thief. I like to talk about in-laws and relatives. I always felt sorry for my mom growing up in Seattle because, I don't know, she always had to work an outside job. She was putting my dad through prison. Well, my sister was another one in the family I felt sorry for. She was one of these people. She had this complex. See, she felt she was odd-looking. And I don't know, I never thought she was that odd-looking, but she was always, you know, real self-conscious about her noses. And, Oh, thank you. Thank you. My mom would always do this. She would say stuff that would make me feel insecure, I guess without meaning to. I remember on my 20th birthday, instead of saying happy birthday and all that, she had to bring out the fact that Charles Percy, the senator from Illinois, when he was 20, he was the head of Bell and Howell Corporation. Can you see that, a 20-year-old kid? Yeah, we'll have a stockholders meeting at 10 o'clock. I'm flying to the coast at noon. I'll be meeting with the president of General Motors at 5 p.m. When I was 20, I was working at McDonald's. You want lids on these? My mother would say stuff that nobody else would say, like she was visiting in California during the '71 earthquake, okay? And I had taken some sleeping pills. I slept right through it. That's over 8 years ago. To this day, she has never let me live it down. I did everything I could to wake you up that day. I yelled at you, I screamed at you, nothing I could do would wake you up. Then she says something I still can't believe. She says, you spoiled the whole earthquake for me. Then she would always give lectures. Even if she didn't know a person, she'd feel free to give the old lecture. Like one time we're on a bus, and there's a kid about 9 or 10 years old. He's got his arm dangling out the window like kids do. My mom didn't know him, but she had to give a lecture. Young man, that's a good way to lose an arm. The kid was sarcastic. He said, thank you. Could you tell us some of the other ways? Thank you. And I was not, I'll be honest, I was not the nicest kid when I was little. I had a pet hamster. One time I put him in a Bendix automatic dryer. He did not survive, no. But he did come out fluffy and without that static cling. In my junior year of high school, that's the year I always remember, we moved out into the country for a while, and we lived with my Uncle Casey, the alcoholic cow farmer. And the guy was nuts, boy. One time he got real drunk, tried to milk a Jehovah's Witness. What would that be like? I don't know. My mom, going back to my mom, I remember when I was little, she was really strict on what television I could watch and what television shows I couldn't watch. And even today, a lot of people think there's too much violence on TV. Maybe you saw this recently on the late news. They had a big meeting of concerned parents, and one guy got up and he says, well, I believe there's too much violence on television and in the movies. Then there was this woman at the meeting. She had to do the old cliche. Well, I'd rather have my children see nudity than violence. Then there was this dumb guy, and he kept saying, wait a minute. Why can't we have both? I want to see naked people beating the hell out of each other. A lot of comics, they watch TV to try to get ideas. I saw a program on drug abuse a couple of weeks ago, and any kind of drug will foul up whatever you're doing. 2 years ago, I had a great show business job. I was an MC for Seals and Crofts. After one show, Seals and Crofts fired me because I got loaded, introduced them as arts and crafts. And 2 guys got picked up. See, they had in their possession 100 pounds of angel dust, which is a hallucinogenic drug, but actually what angel dust is an animal tranquilizer. So like if your cow gets high on speed, you can give him some angel dust and bring him back down. That'd be neat, huh? Cow on speed. Moo, 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 moo. Maybe you saw this recently. They had a big murder trial in the East, and they figured that every member of the jury had been smoking marijuana because they deliberated for 6 days and found the defendant tall. You've been real nice. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Thank you.
We'll return with our guests and more of the show right after this brief commercial break. Talking to George Miller. George, that was a dynamite piece.
Thank you very much.
Just dynamite. Told me he was a little nervous. Boy, you wouldn't know it.
I try to fake it.
Oh, funny stuff.
Thanks.
Where are you from, Seattle?
I'm from Seattle originally, yeah.
Did you go to school in Seattle?
I attended the University of Washington, where I majored in registration, and I was just there for 2 quarters, and then I had to leave. There was some confusion about a grade point average, so then You know what? It's funny, because we lived in Seattle when I was in grade school and junior high, and then we came down to California for a while, and I went to high school in Los Angeles, very inferior high school with pretty low standards. Our graduation speaker was Dr. Beecham, the credit dentist. Kind of went back and...
Is finding material a big problem for you? I mean,
Yeah, it is. What I'll do, I'll look at the newspaper, and sometimes you'll have an edge in that the material sometimes almost writes itself. You don't have to do much. This was a thing, if I can get out of my
sometimes the news is funnier than what you're going to do.
That's right. You can just say it and get something.
Yeah.
This was in the Personals. You ever read the Personals?
All the time.
Los Angeles Times 2 weeks ago. I couldn't believe it. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of John Norman Rigby, please keep it to yourself. The man is extremely boring. I was actually in there.
Oh. Now, a piece like we saw tonight, now, you've tried that out a few times.
Yeah, I have. In fact, let's say there's 13 jokes there. I probably tried out maybe 150 jokes to really get it going. And what I do, and you were nice enough to mention Plaza 4, where a lot of the people who have done the Tonight Show, Gallagher and Elaine Boozler and Jay Leno, are going to be performing on the dates that you said, so I hope you'll come out. And we all kind of use the same system, and we'll make little notes to ourselves on a card, and we'll kind of work out the material. And what I do, if the joke goes well, of course, if it goes good, 3 or 4 nights in a row, it's, you leave it in your act. And if it bombs consistently, what I do is I set it aside temporarily. I put it in what I call my inactive file, and then eventually I sell it to a new guy just starting out.
Yeah? What if he gets big screams with it, though, huh?